Uh, well, this is interesting. I'm back with the videos. Well, the kind where you see my horrifying face, but that's besides the point. So this may be an unorthodox type of situation. I'm sure you're used to hearing my terrible music, but I can't really avoid this kind of topic. So I'm warning you right now that the things I'm about to talk about, or a thing I should say, um, can be a little heavy, and this is done with complete viewer discretion. So if you don't want to stay for this, I understand. Feel free to click off the video. I won't hate you for it, but if you do, just know you're going into some heavy stuff, but you probably already know this. So, yeah. And one other thing too, I'm gonna let you make comments on this video if you want to. I just have one thing to say and I want to say it once so I don't repeat myself. The comments you leave for this video, this particular one, you are to voice whatever opinions you want, but do it in a way that is respectful, civil. Don't attack me, and don't attack anyone else in the section. Okay? I'm gonna say that again. Do not attack people in this comment section, because I ain't playing that game. I ain't playing that. Anyway, with that being said, let's get this over with. So, for those of you out there who watch the news, follow news media sites, the works, then you probably know one of the biggest talks of the town in the past, was it 3 days, regarding a certain man, the man being Charlie Kirk. Now, if you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, he is the founder of a little movement or something called Turning Point USA. What that is essentially he goes around, usually universities and whatnot, hosting events where he simply voices his ideals and whatnot, and he invites people to come up to a microphone and you know hash it out with him. Essentially, he's promoting civil disagreement because usually the people that go to the mic are those who don't really agree with what he says and stuff. So that's a little preface. It's a lot more complicated than what I just explained, but you have to understand I'm not here for details. So anyway, he was on September, what was it, 10th or so, he was hosting an event in Utah where, things were going about as normally as you expect them to. And I forget the particular question that was raised. I think it was something about either transgenders or mass shootings or both. Um, and he went to go answer it, usually. And then, out of nowhere, he gets shot. He gets shot in the neck, or at least that's where it looked like the bullet entered and exited through the neck. And he immediately recoils to the ground, unconscious already. That same day, he was pronounced dead. So it was not just a tragic shooting, it was a assassination, if you will. He was a huge Republican supporter, Trump guy. He loved, supported Trump. He's a man that loves God and country. And he was shot and killed, assassinated, if you will. I learned all this that night of the 10th because I was coming home from work that night. And when I learned that, I felt two emotions go through me. Two. It was extreme sadness and bitter anger, the likes of which I've not felt in years. The sadness, because you have to understand, this was a guy that, to my knowledge, at least every YouTube short, everything I've seen and heard about him, this was a guy that just wanted to promote some civility back into this country, something we have lacked for years. For years. I'm gonna try not to raise my voice too much, but you'll understand. But civility, for years we've lacked it, and he was trying to promote it back with his Turning Point USA events. Like I said, he invites civil disagreements through words, not actions. Because I remember one thing he said was that when people take away the talking, they resort to violence, right? And that's what he wanted to avoid with this thing. In my eyes, he was an innocent man. Like I said, he was a man that loved God and country. He had no ill will towards anyone that went up to disagree with him. He invited it. He didn't belittle them. He didn't think him. I'm sure he didn't think himself superior to anyone. He was just a normal guy doing what he wanted, doing what he loved. And because some people in this country thinks or believes that no one is allowed to have a differing opinion, they took it upon themselves to kill this man. Now we're getting to the bitter anger part. He was killed because he had a different opinion. The part that angered me the most, that angered me the most, and I saw it today when I was scrolling through some social media. I saw it through today. While many people were expressing their profound sadness, mourning over this guy's death, who wouldn't? There are those out there who believe this is a good thing, or believe it light enough to make jokes about it. Look, I don't usually get political. I usually don't consider myself a political guy. If the president does something, okay. If this party does something, okay. So I don't consider myself political by any stance. This is a human matter. And if people out there are treating someone getting murdered like some big joke, you got something wrong with you. Oh, it's a stupid thing is. There we go. So stupid scan was going on. I had to turn it off because it was distracting me. But back to the topic again. How someone can say the things I've read is beyond me. Some people had the audacity, the nerve to say this man's inciting hate, inciting violence. It's the same nonsensical, asinine rhetoric that's been freaking repeated time and time again because he dares to have a differing opinion that doesn't jive with them. And so because of that, he was killed. He was killed. What shook me up the most was that the dude was 30 freaking 1 years old. He doesn't even get to celebrate his 32nd birthday. Think about that. I'm 25. So roughly 6 or 7 years older than me. In 6 years, I'm going to be that man's age. His wife and kids, now they got to grow up without a husband and father because someone doesn't like what he says. How evil do you have to be for that? How evil? I asked this question. It's kind of stupid to ask because, again, this crap has been happening for years now. Years. He didn't deserve this. Clearly, he didn't. And it's utter nonsense. I can't even begin. I've never felt so disgusted by something in my life to the point where as you can see, I'm struggling to come up with words as I'm talking about this. But I don't understand how some people in this country, this world even, can be so evil to do something like this. If you disagree with the guy, fine. No one's going to condemn you for it. You actually speaking, saying that one of the most recent, um, thank goodness Kirk's dead moments I read about on Instagram even. Um, this person labeled his assassination, the shooter, as doing armed resistance. And they have the nerve to say armed resistance is not murder. Armed resistance. So, because he says something that you personally don't agree with, and you shoot and kill him, that's armed resistance. Let that sink in for a moment. Kirk, for the most part, unarmed, totally out in the open, just speaking into a microphone. Kind of like what I'm doing right now with this. Speaking into a microphone. Person, shooter, has a gun, doesn't even have the balls to do it face to face. No, they gotta hide way up in a friggin' building where no one can see them. You call that armed resistance? I call it murder! Murder. I don't care who the heck you are. Unless that person is attacking you with a weapon or whatever, it's murder. He incites hate. By doing what? Exercising free speech? The same free speech that a lot of freaking brain dead people claim that, oh, we're not allowed to have that because you're just going to shut us down. Yeah, yeah. They killed an innocent man for no reason. None. And if you think for 1 second he's inciting hate and violence, then show me a clip. Provide me a quote. Something. Don't just say it because I'm not believing you. Because I watched his videos. I've watched what he said. I've listened to what he said. You know what I heard? I didn't hear hate. I didn't hear violence. I heard truth from that man. I heard truth from that brother. I'm one of those people that does agree with Kurt. A lot of things he said, I jive with. You don't have to jive with everything he says. And I've seen it. I've seen it. Even people that initially don't agree with Kurt, they still say, I didn't agree with the dude, but he didn't need to die like that, though. So there is hope. There's hope. For some of you out there, there is hope. For those who want to celebrate this man's death, you have no hope. None. You're only doing it because it doesn't happen to you. If you lost your loved one in front of you, because someone didn't like what they said or didn't wear or something like that, you play the victim card 100%. You would. Don't even try to lie. You would. You're a coward. You're a coward. The shooter's a coward, and those who want to celebrate Kirk's death are also cowards. Now, I'm blessed and grateful that my family are still here with me. My brother, my father, my mother, my aunt, my grandparents. I wouldn't dare laugh at someone getting shot and killed. I don't care who you are. I wouldn't dare do it. It could be a person that I don't agree with whatsoever. If I hear that they got murdered, then I'd be like, why? They didn't have to. They didn't have to go out like that. Because this isn't about politics. I want to make that clear. This video is not about politics. I'm not going to name Republican versus Democrat versus liberal versus conservative. What? No, this is human life. Human life. Whatever he said, he said. Whatever he does, he does. This is human life. And that's cold-blooded murder. That is cold-blooded murder. I don't want to hear nothing about armed resistance. I don't want to hear nothing about hate. Nothing about it. People do things, people say things all the time that I don't agree with. You know what I do? I either talk it over with them or I ignore it. It's as simple as that. I was telling my coworker at work about this, I made the allusion to people are getting too comfortable with stuff like Snapchat, stuff like Twitter, stuff like, TikTok or whatever. Because they surround themselves with people that only agree with them, people that only think they're right. And those who don't, they get blocked. So what happens with Kirk? That's reality. There is no block button. If Kirk says something that you don't agree with, you can't just hit a block button and that's it. Move on to the no, 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 no. This is real life. So when you don't have a block button, what do these people do? They resort to violence. That primal instinct kicks in, and we see the result. But you know what? I also said this to my coworker today. While Kirk's death is sad, and I will never ever deny that, in a way you could look at it as a win. A win. Why? Well, because what Kirk's been saying about all this, he was proven right. By him getting murdered like that, he was proven right. He was murdered by someone who doesn't want civil discussion, murdered by someone who doesn't want to talk about their disagreements. No, they resorted to violence because that's what they wanted. And Kirk was the winner. He died, but he died a winner. He died a patriot. He died an American. He died as someone people looked up to. All the shorts I've watched with this man, about 90% praise. People looked up to this man. I've even watched shorts people reacting to Charlie's death where some believe that he could have been president someday. Though I don't believe he would have wanted it. I don't know, but some people believe that strongly in this dude that he could have even been president one day. Now we'll never know. We'll never know. But I mean, again, it just how evil do you have to be for that? Like how evil? And people not liking Kirk, his events getting crazy. That's not something he wasn't used to. It's happened many times, many times. If Kirk was still here, he would easily say he's dealt with crazy people a lot. He's dealt with people that just have the most backwards ideology. And he's dealt with it. like a man. He talked it out. He didn't resort to violence. He handled it like a man. He was a man. He was a man. He was what this country needed. Some civility, some freaking respect. It's getting to the point where we can't even have a differing opinion. If you don't agree, you are a threat and you'll be eliminated. That's going to be the mindset nowadays. That's going to be the mindset. If you don't agree, you're a threat. You know, like it's like like how Anakin says in Revenge of the Sith. When he and Obi-Wan are facing each other off in Mustafar. Anakin's like, you know, if you're not with me, then you're my enemy. That's gonna be the mentality now. If with these kind of people, if you're not with me, then you're my enemy. You must die, because only I'm allowed to be right. You want to know what the stupid part is? These are the same people that want to talk about we have no free speech, we have no rights. You know, the freaking MAGAs, they're taking it away from us. They're putting us down. They're oppressing us and all this stuff. Yeah, look what they just did to Kirk. What about him warranted murder? Oh, because you didn't like what he said. Oh, you didn't like the fact he used free speech. So see, it's not free speech when you don't agree with it. When you don't agree with it, it's hate. It's hate. When you do agree with it, though, oh, now it's free speech. That ain't what free speech means, people. It means someone's going to speak their mind. If you don't like it, that's your problem, not theirs. If I say something in this video that you don't like, guess what? I don't have to apologize for it. Because I told you straight up from the beginning, if you don't like this, then go watch some other video. So if you don't like it, don't come at me with it. That's your problem to deal with, not mine. If you don't like what I'm saying, if you don't like what Kurt's saying, then deal with it. That's called free speech. You don't have to agree with it. I'm not going to force you to agree with it. He didn't force other people to agree with him. If they agreed with him, it's because they listened to what he said and they thought about it. That is free speech. The ability to speak your mind without fear of contempt or anything like that. You speak your mind, and if people don't want to listen, they don't want to listen. If they want to listen, they want to listen. But nowadays, people get put down for what they want to say. They get put down for speaking their minds. And that ain't free speech. You ask me, that's called a dictatorship. That's the dictatorship. Because when you're not allowed to disagree, that creates very tough situations for people. Because you're forcing them to go along with your rhetoric. You're forcing them to go along with your ideology. And if they refuse, well, guess what? You die. That's what happened with Kirk. He didn't go along with it, so he died. Because they knew they couldn't do anything else. They couldn't debate with this man because they knew he was going to put them on the spot and they wouldn't have a rebuttal. So they just kill him. Just kill him. Oh, it's not murder, it's armed resistance because he's inciting hate and violence. Blah 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 blah. Understand he's never once raised a hand against someone. He didn't jump over the table in an act of violence. No, the ones inciting violence are the ones that disagree with him. They're the ones inciting violence. Oh, Kirk's inciting hate. Oh, okay. So when has he ever called, a person of color that disagree with him the N word? I would love to hear that clip. I would love to see the quote where he openly calls someone the N word and doesn't even bat an eye to it. You won't find it because that's not what he does. I guarantee you, someone that disagrees with him will certainly call him a few racial slurs. I'm sure someone that disagreed with him would certainly use lots of hateful speech against him. Oh no, but Kirk's the one doing it. He's the one inciting hate and violence. You sick, twisted, evil people. You sicken me. The shooter, you're a disgusting waste of human life. You will get your comeuppance. If you haven't been arrested yet, you will be. You will get justice. I will not rest until I know that you have been given the proper sentence. And I think we all know what that sentence should be, so I'm not going to say it on here. We all know what it should be. You will get your comeuppance. Now you get to live in fear. You took Charlie's life, so live in fear. Because one day, your turn will come. Your turn will come. You see that Bible behind me? In that Bible, there is a sin listed in there. Thou shalt not murder. That's what you did, shooter. You murdered. You know what that Bible also says about sin? The penalty for it is death. Death. You got only one chance to escape that. It's God. The only thing, the only person that can save you is God. So I suggest you start trying to form a relationship with Him. You talk to God. You tell Him what you did. You tell Him that you feel regret. You feel sorrow. And God, being the loving deity He is, He may He may find it in His heart of hearts to forgive you. You gotta be sincere about it though. Otherwise, you're doomed. You ruined your. I don't get the mentality of these kinds of people. You actively want to ruin your life for this? I don't mean to downplay Charlie's death, but was the killing of one man worth it? Was it worth ruining your life over? I say it wasn't. It was not worth ruining your life over. Because that's what happens. You just ruined your life. I don't get it. Why ruin your life? He had a microphone. He invited people. It was literally called Prove Me Wrong, people. It was literally called Prove Me Wrong. You could have voiced your frustrations there, voiced your differing opinions there. Why use a gun? Why? Because you're evil. You have no conscience, nothing, no regard to human life. You didn't just kill a man, you killed a father, you killed a husband. You forced his young children to go without a father, to live with that traumatic memory that their father was shot and killed in public. You've now forced that wife to live with that. She'll never get to see her husband again. She'll have to come home to a house with only children, no father to raise them. Oh, but if that happened to you, shooter, you play the victim card. Well, guess what? You're no victim. You get no sympathy from me. None. You had no sympathy for Charlie, you get no sympathy from me. Because it wasn't like Charlie was just walking down the road and you shot and killed him. No, he had an open invitation for anyone in that crowd to challenge him to a discussion. You could have taken it. But no, you chose the gun rather than the microphone. So you made your choice. You did. You can't take it back. You made your choice. You're not Superman. You can't just fly around the world in reverse to, turn back time. No, that's permanent. You took that man's life. So wherever you are, you better hope that you come to know God. You better hope you do, because otherwise you're doomed. You're not going to go up, you're going to go down. And trust me, I've read what's in that Bible. You don't want to go down. You don't want to go down because if you go down, the pain that Charlie felt for that one moment, you will feel 1,000 times that for eternity. And there will be no rest, no salvation, no nothing unless you come to have a relationship with God. That's your only escape in this whole ordeal. Your only escape. So I, as a Christian, will urgently advise you to get to know God. I don't care how you do it. You get to know Him, and you read about His grace, His love, because otherwise, my friend, my shooter, you are doomed for eternity. You will have to pay for that sin. The penalty is death. But if you come to know God, you come to know that Bible, I think you'll read something in there that will be really reassuring to you. I think you will. But that's your choice, shooter. That's your choice. You're heading down a path that you can't walk from. You can't walk back from. You're heading down a path that will cause you to experience things the likes of which you couldn't even begin to imagine. And for Charlie, brother, I'm sorry. This country failed you. The evil took you away from this world. It took you away. But unlike the shooter, you were a person of God. You were. I believe it. So there is that little hope in me that knows that you're with the man upstairs. You're with him. But even still, man, I'm sorry that the evil and corruption, these demons in this world took you away. Too soon, man. Too soon. 30 freaking 1 years old. 31 years old. I'm never getting that out of my head. 31 years old. He's already dead. He couldn't even make it to 40. To the to Charlie's family, you have my sincerest condolences and all of my prayers. I am so sorry you had to witness such a traumatic event. I am so sorry you had to learn about it. Your father, your husband, son, nephew, grandson, whatever. He was a real man. Someone I'm proud to call an American. We lost a good man. It's even more tragic because it happens the day before 9/11, another dark moment in American history. So we had back-to-back dark moments in American history. That's not good. 9/11 was enough. Having to remember the evil that struck on that day too, but now we got this as well. It's enough to drive a person to depression, really is. It really is, man. It's got to end. It's got to end. When is it gonna stop? When are we gonna have civility, people? When? What happened to this freaking country, man? What happened? Where did it go wrong? Where? Where and when? What happened to the days of discourse? When did we start turning to violence to solve our problems? You don't agree with me? Okay, there, problem solved. You could just talk to that. Nah, he wouldn't agree with me anyway, so I just killed him. We need to stop killing each other. We need to stop hating so much that we do something like this. It needs to stop. It really does. Cause we, if it's gonna keep going like this, we're gonna head into a civil war part two. A civil war part two. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be a part of a civil war. Oh, I've been to history class. I don't want to be a part of no civil war. I really don't. I mean, what else can I say? What else can I really say? You know, we lost a very good man. Really, really did. The person that took his Charlie's life, you're disgusting, you're vile, you're evil. You'll get your comeuppance. Justice will prevail in this. Don't think it won't. It will. Like I said, your only escape, you get to know God. Do it. Do it. It's the only way you're being saved from this. The only way you'll be given some reassurance. Otherwise, you are doomed. You are screwed right now if you don't take God up on his offer. You're screwed. And don't think for one second you aren't. You know, the people that kill in this world, they get to live in fear now because one day their life's going to end. Whether it be due to natural causes or someone's going to act out in revenge. Just know that your life's now going to end. You're going to have to deal with it. Charlie, we failed you. We did. I'm so sorry this vile, disgusting evil that lives in this country took you away from us. I really am. You will be sorely missed. You will be. You'll be remembered, though, for your movement, for your words, your message, your personality, to the family. I only wish you didn't have to live through that. I wish you didn't. I wish you could just be home with your husband, your father, son, grandson, nephew, laughing it up, having a good time. But now that's taken from you. You have my condolences, my prayers, my love, my sympathy. Justice will be served. It will be. Charlie's death will not be in vain. It will not be some fear tactic used to scare other people. There will be others like Charlie to rise. Don't think because he's dead that this is going to end. There will be more like him. Maybe not now. Maybe not in this month, but there will be. His spirit, his fight will live on. All you've managed to do, shooter, was encourage them further. A martyr dies believing in what he or she fights for, and those that follow that martyr become more encouraged when they are met with a swift end, because now they get to carry that torch. It's up to them to carry that legacy. That's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do. We need to stop trying to let these people scare us It's time for us to be like Charlie. Maybe not to the same scale and degree, but we gotta be like him. We speak our minds, and if people don't like it, deal with it. People are gonna hate you for it. They will. Don't you waver though. Don't you let them hating you stop you from what you're doing. Let it feed you. Let it feed your message. Let it feed your passion to drive you to keep going with it. Because the more people that hate you, it means the more people will listen and think about what you're saying. It means the more people will come to respect you. We can't be cowards like the shooter. We can't be cowards like the ones that want to celebrate Charlie's death. We're going to be brave. We're going to fight for this. We're going to bring this country some type of civility back to it. We're going to bring it back somehow. That's our mission. Our mission that Charlie left for us. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. You know. So that's it for this. If you stayed for all whatever, however long this is, then thank you. Like I said, you're welcome to leave a comment. Just keep it civil. Don't start bickering back and forth. Don't start attacking people because they have differing opinions. Please, please, I beg you. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Other than that, you're free to express whatever you like. If you have your own thoughts and opinions about this, then please share it. Share it. This is your moment to speak. You know, if you don't like what I'm saying, then I don't know what to tell you. Leave a comment. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I got. Charlie, you rest easy, man. Though cut off short, your life was not a bad one, man. Your life was not bad at all. You deserve so much more. You have so much more to give. Rest in peace, my brother. Rest in peace. Goodbye.